Hello everyone, my name is Byron. I'm here with American Coaster Enthusiasts, and today we have Daniel Schoppen from Intamin. Daniel, can you tell us a little bit about what you do over at Intamin?
Me and my team are doing the whole design for roller coasters and flume rides, from the idea to the ride layout or to new ideas how to integrate new trains or new motions.
Right before the Expo, we saw the announcement of the new Family LSM model. Right now, a lot of parks, they have, the high thrill attractions and they have their, their very low thrill attractions. And I feel like this is the perfect bridge between that gap. So how do you all plan to market that to your clients so forth?
So for the marketing, or for us, what was for us important? So for my team, we want to be able to do airtime. So a family roller coaster normally goes to 0G, something like that. You have nice, great weightlessness airtime. But we see that for families, the parks also want to go a little bit beyond that limit.
Yeah.
So not -1G, so we don't want to eject the people with all the weight out of the seat, but let's say -0.3G, -0.4G. And this is now what we are able to do with the Family LSM. So it's a completely new design chassis. The whole design is done that for the load envelope we can do more. For sure the restraint will be then also of class 5, like for the big thrill coasters.
Okay.
But we will not utilize it completely. And we don't need to, because it should be family thrill. It should be friendly for all the generations. So grandma and the kids should be able to ride, but also teens. So it should not be like we are stopping at the area of just weightlessness airtime.
Considering some of your previous model lineups, we did have the earlier family coaster that was often propelled by tire drive launches. Is there a reason why we might be moving away from tire drive launch to LSM specific?
We still have the tire drive launches with the big wheels, which are working very reliable in operation, and also we will also sell them, and we are keeping them in our lineup. But for the LSM, we give the opportunity to bring our very thrustful LSM in a smaller scale, it's also a little bit less in height, to the family coaster. This is the idea. And what we found out, we can do the same acceleration more or less like we do on the big thrill coaster. So it will be not just like let's do a family launch with 0.4, 0.5G. No, we can go to 0.7, 0.8, even to 1G if the client wants to do it, but smaller scale because the vehicle weighs less, and also for sure for less power demand. And that's then the clue to bring it together with the vehicle. Also the gravity point comes down because the people are sitting closer to the track. A lower gravity point allows you also to have a much more smoother ride experience. And these are all the advantages we are combining together.
Yeah, it does very much seem like the best of not both worlds, but the best of every world. So that is super cool. And in the videos that we see that it's got the swing launch like some of your other coasters like Pantheon or Tutatis. And we see that it's got inversions, and I also noticed that minimum height requirement is 100 centimeters or 39 inches.
Yeah.
So how did we get to that, like the idea to bring it that low and still take these smaller riders on these amazing extreme elements?
What we see for the last 2-3 years, a lot of demand is coming to bring inversions to family coasters. Not specifically to launch coasters, but here we now have a lineup with this chassis to do these uplifting G-forces, which you need for inversions, but not going crazy. So a corkscrew is possible, a hardline roll is possible, even a vertical loop is possible, but not the super crazy stuff. But you also don't need it. On the other hand, with the launches, we can do, you already said, every launch you want. So multi-direction launches with a fast switch into a spike, stuff like this. Launches over hills, launches through valleys. So everything now is possible because with a friction wheel drive, you are more or less flat. You can do a kind of radii, and we already did one in Movie Park Germany for the Movie Park Studio Tour, but the diameter is so huge you will not sense it. Right. So here Now with the LSM, we can now do valley launches and hill launches, which is a great feature, as you also said, like from Pantheon. And we can bring it then now also to the family target group.
So moving over to Eftelling, you have Danse Macabre. What can you tell us about that experience?
What I can say is not a roller coaster.
Yes.
But it's a very, very immersive dark ride. But a dark ride using a small footprint. So it's a motion stage.
Okay.
It's a platform with a diameter of approximately 60 feet. And that is what you need space-wise. You can build a show around, you can put anything on the platform you want. Here, we have yawing vehicles, same style, like a bit like seating configuration like Mummy or Gringotts, for example. Yeah, you are sitting there in a church bench in an old cathedral or a church, and you are then experience a ghost dance, Danse Macabre. So what the system is incapable, it's fully hydraulic driven. It's a hydraulic platform with 3 degrees of motion. So we can heave, we can let it drop with close to 0 G.
Yeah.
We can also get it tilt 25 degree, but you can also making a coin tilt effect. And on top of this, we have 108 seats on this platform.
Wow.
So we are moving a weight of 70 tons.
Yes.
It can also yaw.
Okay.
And the gondolas can also yaw independently from each other. So you can create, next to the show experience, different views, but also interaction in between the riders. And it's a 3.5 minute show.
Yes.
And it's completely immersed. It's an immersive attraction where you are sensing the story by music, because it's a special music score which is played.
Right.
By the movement, the physical movement, the interaction, and for sure also the props, the audio animatronics they have in, the sound. It's a really fully immersive experience, something I believe pretty unique, and I'm pretty sure that more and more parks are getting interested in this ride system, and we will see even more coming.
You know, the focus is of course on the ride, but a part of the ride experience a lot of times is the theming. So do you feel as though this attraction style is easier to get theming done rather than building a whole bunch of set around an existing attraction?
Correct. So the volume, it's a smaller volume. So we are talking about the 60 feet diameter. You also don't need a lot of space to load and unload. So a total size of 80, 100 feet is enough to serve the whole attraction infrastructure-wise to load and unload also. And then for sure, for the park, it's easier to theme it. So it's not a dark ride where you go from scene to scene, but you can still create scene effects. Because with this platform, you can focus with the people to one specific location at the stage. But when we are tilting, you are also open a kind of underground world or feature where you can see then props which you normally not see if the platform is not tilting so much. So there are a lot of possibilities you can do storytelling-wise without having a dark ride. Plus on top is not just a simulator ride, because you are really sensing and feeling the physical movement of it. It's like a teacup on a simulator, but opening a completely new dimension of what you can do.
Wow, that sounds very cool. And I know that you all are the masterminds of innovation. So I know that attraction is something that is unlike a lot of other things that have been done before. So thank you so much for all of this wonderful information. It's amazing to hear.
Okay.
We really appreciate it.
Byron, thank you.
Thank you.